Question of from arithmetic progression, which is AP. So this is one of the question paper questions. I think this is from 2017 or 2018, 17 or 18. So what it says is sum of m terms of an AP is same as the sum of its n terms. So sum of m terms is equals to sum of n terms. That's what they have given. And we need to show that sum of m plus n terms, sum of m plus n terms, if I write it in terms of sum, what do we know? S of n, sum of n terms is actually equals to n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 and d. Sorry, I have to write it here. So just that's our main formula. So sum of m plus n terms means this n is replaced with m plus n. So that's actually supposed to be m plus n. N is replaced by m plus n terms. That's what they are asking. Divided by 2. 2a will remain the same. N is replaced by again m plus n minus 1 d. Keep that in mind. Now they are asking, we have to show this equals to 0. So if I want to show this equals to 0, so there are many things that you can actually try. Just think in terms of, if I find a as 0, will that become 0? I don't think it will become, because then d will be there, some values will be there. Other option is, if I find m plus n as 0, if m plus n as 0, that means 0 divided by 2, which is 0. 0 multiplied by this whole thing is actually going to give me 0. So that means there is a possibility. D cannot be 0, then what happens is you will not have an AP. So that is meaningless. So or otherwise, the other option is the entire this portion with whatever they have given. If that becomes 0, then m plus n by 2 multiplied by 0 will become sum of m plus n will become 0. So one of these actually has to be there. That you'll be only able to figure out from what they have given. So let's go back to this question and try to get this from the basic itself. So I hope you understood exactly what I'm trying to say here. So what you need to find out, what are the options you have. So coming back to this sum of m terms, so as far as I know, by looking at that formula, I'm going to write the same thing. Instead of m, I'm going to substitute m by 2, then you get 2a plus m minus 1 instead of n, m minus 1 d, then equals to this side Sn is there, so I can actually straight away put that n by 2, 2a plus n minus 1 d. So this is what they have given. So my main intention is somewhere equals to 0 and then try to group these ones. So let's just try to see what we can do. But as far as I can see, m divided by 2, n divided by 2, I can actually take out 2 here. If not, the main understanding is cross multiplication. If I do this, 2 goes up, which becomes 2m divided by 2. Again 2 gets cancelled. So in terms of cross multiplication, that's the idea. If not, if you divide by, but you have to keep in mind that it depends on the fraction and then LHS and RHS. So in this case, actually here is multiplication, here is multiplication. So for that reason, I can cancel those 2. Don't cancel these 2 and these 2. That won't work. That's a wrong way of doing mathematics. So now what I'll do is I'll take everything on one side and then equals to 0 I'll put it. M into 2a is 2ma plus I will keep that as m into m minus 1d. I'm multiplying this with this, I'm multiplying this with that term, equals to, this will be 2na plus n into n minus 1d. So that's what I have. I'll take everything onto the left hand side. 2ma minus 2na plus what can I do? M square minus m square d. I get it as m square. If I multiply this first, I'll get md into m square d. If I multiply these two first, that will be minus d. That minus d into plus m will be minus md, right? Minus md and plus m square d. Similarly, I am going to let's do it on the RHS itself. 2NA, no, I've already taken it on the left hand side, right? So let's do it. This portion will be n square d, or otherwise let's do it separate. So if someone is not understanding, I'll keep n as n, and if I multiply, this will be dn minus d. I'll multiply these two first, then multiply this n square d minus nd. Similar to this, but I'm transposing this onto the other side. This plus will become minus n square d, and that minus will become plus nd. Right now everything is transferred on the other side, so I'll get 0. I have these two as a values, so for that reason what I can do here is I can take 2a common. I'll have m minus n. Let's look at this one. So here m square, n square is there, and minus, if I take, that will be m dd. So let's do this square once. First let's regroup them. M square d minus n square d, then minus md plus nd, right, equals to 0. So what we'll do here is we'll take d common here. So by doing that, 2a m minus n, or I can take d common from all of them. Let's do it that way. If I take d common, m square will be left, n square will be left, minus m is left, plus n is left, then d is there, equals to 0. Let me just scroll this up a little bit, so at least we have some space. Okay, so now m square, n square, if I look at this, this can be written as a square minus b square, which is m plus n into m minus n. Remember, now it becomes a product, so that way 2a m minus n plus, I'm going to write it as m plus n into m minus n. Here if you look at it, it doesn't look like, it looks like n minus m, but n minus m we don't have anywhere. I need m minus n, so if I take minus out, and then it will be m minus n. Verify this, always you put a bracket, just verify this properly. Now this whole thing is actually with d multiplied, so I have to put that equals to 0, because that's this whole thing is multiplied by d, so d is there. All I've done is I've used an identity here, and I've put bracket for this so that I can get m minus n. The reason behind that is because I can see, by looking at the equation, I can see that there is one term here, there is one more, this whole term is there with this. In this, if I take, let's take from this, if I take m minus n common, what will happen? M minus n common, what will be left in that bracket? M plus n is left, minus 1 is left, nothing is there, 1. Don't put that 0, because it's not 0. How will you find out? If you verify this, this multiplied by this, you get that. This multiplied by 0, you will get 0. If you had put 0, it's wrong. 1, so m minus n multiplied by 1 is m minus n. So just keep that in mind, and this will remain as is, m minus n plus, you will have d here. I took common from this, whatever was left I have kept it inside, and d is still there. So now how many terms are there? One term here, one term here. So again, in those two terms, as far as I can see that m minus n is common. M minus n common, what do I get? Inside 2a is left, plus I'll be left with this, m plus n minus 1, and d equals to 0. Remember, if I have taken out this one, I have to write this entire thing with d, whatever is left, m minus n is left. So now this is, I cannot treat this as 0, so if I even transpose this, this will become 0 divided by m minus n. Automatically this gets cancelled. So what is left? 2a plus m plus n minus 1 d equals to 0. Let's go back and see whether this is what we had written in the first place. If you look at this, this is what we had written in the first place. 2a plus m plus n minus 1d, we got this part as 0, so 0 multiplied by this is actually going to be 0. So that's what we need to prove. So we will get that as sum of m plus n, that's what they had asked, m plus n divided by 2 in the bracket 2a plus n is m plus n minus 1 d. Now from this, if I put this as 1, from 1 this will become 0. 0 multiplied by m plus n divided by 2 is actually going to be 0. So sum of m plus n equals to 0. So I hope you understood this, because certain places are there where I need to keep an eye on. If someone is struggling with taking common, like when you did factorization, so when you wanted to factorize, what did we do in the first place? Our factorization was to take common and show them as a product, and then the second thing was group them, take common, show them as product. Then after that we learned other things as part of factors, because we wanted to show them in terms of products. But here in this case, actually understand the terms, and then how I've taken common here. So this portion, if someone feels difficulty, go through this twice or thrice, so you get to know exactly how I've taken common. Although straight away you can write from one step to another step, as long as you understand exactly what you're doing. If not, just write this. It might take maybe 10 seconds or 15 seconds more, but at least you will know that what you have done is right. So go through this once or twice, and then make sure that you understand the entire concept from this. That's the reason first when I started off with this, I have explained exactly how that particular sum we have written here, that portion. So then we had options. Based on that, we tried to find out with whatever condition they have given, and then we found the answer. If you like this video, and then if you want more and more, so please don't forget to subscribe, and then hit that like button as well. I will see you next time.